Welcome back, everyone. We're diving deep today, getting into something really exciting in the cruise world. Specifically, we're looking at Norwegian Cruise Line.
Yeah, they've been making some waves lately.
You can say that again. We've got press releases, some industry analysis, even deck plans, and, well, let's just say NCL is thinking big.
Bigger than big. I'd say it's more about a long-term strategy, a real vision for the future of cruising.
That's what I love about these deep dives. We're all here because we're already into cruising, right? And when it comes to NCL, most people know them for their, 19 ships now?
19, yeah, across 9 different classes.
Right, 9 classes. And of course, there's that whole freestyle cruising thing, which was kind of revolutionary back in the day.
Still is for a lot of people.
Absolutely. But what we're talking about today, well, this goes way beyond that. It's like next level stuff.
Okay, so the big news. Fincantieri, those Italian shipbuilders, they just confirmed an order for 4 new ships for NCL.
4? Wow, okay. That's a lot of ships. But what's the big deal? What makes these different?
These ships are massive. Each one's going to be 226,000 gross tons.
Hold on, 226,000. How big is that, really? Can you put that into perspective for us?
Imagine almost 2 Empire State Buildings crammed into each ship. That's the kind of space we're talking about.
That's wild. I mean, their biggest ship now, the Encore, it's 169,000 tons. So this is a huge jump.
It's a statement, for sure.
And speaking of statements, what about the cost? Building something that big can't be cheap.
Not at all. We're talking a cool 9 billion euros for all 4 ships.
9 billion. Whoa, okay, that's a lot of zeros. I mean, clearly NCL is really serious about this, aren't they?
They're betting big on the future of cruising.
So, okay, we've got these mega ships, right? They're expensive, they're huge. But what does it actually mean for someone who wants to, go on a cruise? Will this make cruising even more expensive?
That's a question analysts are trying to figure out right now. A ship that size, with all the bells and whistles, well, it's going to cost a lot to operate.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But at the same time, you're spreading that cost over more passengers. So NCL might be aiming for that sweet spot, luxury and innovation, but without pricing out their usual crowd.
That makes sense. And you mentioned innovations. That's a big part of NCL's image, right? I mean, think back to the freestyle cruising thing.
Right, they took a chance, and it paid off.
Totally. So the question is, what's their next big move? Are they trying to redefine cruising again?
Well, look at the timeline. These ships won't be ready till 2030, at the earliest.
So we've got to wait.
Right. But that tells me they're putting a lot of thought into this, a lot of planning. This isn't just about making a bigger version of what they already have.
But what are they doing with all that time? They must have some pretty amazing experiences up their sleeves.
Well, think about the tech that'll be around by 2030. Virtual reality, maybe even AI-driven itineraries, maybe even robots doing some of the work.
Now that sounds like a cruise I'd want to go on. Like a futuristic city on the water.
Yeah.
But what about the environmental impact?
Good point. NCL's been pushing sustainability lately, so maybe these ships will be a showcase for eco-friendly cruising on a massive scale.
Now, that would be huge. Cruising gets a lot of, criticism for its impact on the environment.
Rightfully so, in many cases.
Exactly. So if NCL can prove you can have luxury and sustainability at the same time, well, that could be a real game changer.
Agreed. Think about things like super advanced wastewater treatment, energy-efficient engines, maybe even alternative fuels.
It's like they're saying, hey, we're not just keeping up, we're setting the standard.
Exactly. And they've chosen the right partner for that.
You mean Fincantieri? Why are they a shipyard for this? I mean, there are other big shipbuilders out there.
True, but Fincantieri built the Prima and the Viva, and those ships are known for their design and tech.
Oh, right. I've seen pictures. They're pretty impressive.
Fincantieri has proven they can deliver what NCL wants. Plus, they've got 3 more NCL ships in the works already.
Wait, 3 more. On top of these 4 mega ships.
NCL's going all in. And one of those 3 ships, the Norwegian Aqua, it's launching soon. And it's the first of their new Prima Plus class.
Prima Plus. So is this like a stepping stone to those mega ships? Like a chance to test things out?
Maybe. The Aqua could be a preview of what's to come in those 2030 ships.
Interesting. And remember how we were talking about NCL's different ship classes?
Yeah, 9 different classes.
Right. Well, they actually have one ship, the Norwegian Spirit, that wasn't even built for them. They got it from another cruise line. And then there's the Pride of America, built specifically for sailing in Hawaii.
Right, the Pride of America.
So even in their existing fleet, NCL has ships with these unique stories and purposes. What does that tell us about their approach, do you think?
To me, it shows they're not afraid to try new things, to change things up, to really target specific types of travelers.
Yeah, that makes sense. So maybe with these new megaships, they're thinking even bigger, dreaming up completely new kinds of experiences.
Maybe a dedicated wellness ship,
Mm.
or one focused on adventure travel. Who knows?
The possibilities are kind of mind-blowing, aren't they?
They really are.
So we've got these megaships on the horizon, but NCL is already laying the groundwork with the Aqua and those other ships in the pipeline. It's clear they're not just keeping up, they're setting the pace, pushing the boundaries of what cruising can be.
Yeah, it's exciting. And that makes you wonder, what kind of experiences will these megaships offer? How will they shape the future of cruising, not just for NCL, but for the whole industry?
All right, so we've talked about what these megaships are going to be like, the size, the cost, all that. But why? What's the bigger picture here, do you think?
You know, it's interesting. To me, this whole thing reflects a real shift, not just for NCL, but for the whole cruise industry. It's not just about building a bigger ship anymore.
What do you mean?
It's about creating destinations, experiences. It's almost like building worlds at sea.
So NCL is trying to appeal to a different kind of cruiser then. Not just, people looking for a relaxing vacation, but someone who wants something more.
Exactly. Think about how travel's changing in general. People want experiences, not just sightseeing. They want to learn, connect, challenge themselves. Cruising has to keep up with that.
That makes sense. But how do these megaships fit into all that?
Yeah.
Is it just about having more space for, pools and restaurants and stuff? Or is it something deeper?
I think it's both. On a practical
Right
level,
there.
yeah, a ship that size means you can have just about anything. Broadway-style shows, incredible dining, maybe even theme park level stuff.
Theme park stuff, like on a ship, is that even possible?
Well, we don't know yet, but that's what's exciting. NCL's always been about pushing the limits. I mean, remember when they put go-karts and laser tag on a ship?
Yeah, nobody thought that would work.
Exactly. So who knows what they'll come up with next?
Okay, so it's about wonder, pushing boundaries. But what about sustainability? How does that fit in with all of this?
Yeah, that's the big question. Can you have a megaship that's also eco-conscious? NCL seems to think so. I mean, they've already made progress with sustainability across their fleet.
I hope so. Cruising has a bit of a reputation problem when it comes to the environment.
For sure.
So if they can show that these huge ships can be sustainable, that would be a major win for them and for the whole industry, really.
Definitely. And it's not just about being good for the planet, it's smart business too, especially with younger travelers. They really care about sustainability.
So NCL's betting that being green will attract a whole new group of cruisers.
Right. They're positioning themselves as the leaders in sustainable cruising. That's got to give them an edge.
Clever. But let's get back to those experiences for a minute. What kind of innovations are we talking about here? I mean, beyond go-karts and laser tag, what might a cruise in, say, 2030 look like?
Well, imagine personalized itineraries created by AI based on your likes and dislikes. Or how about virtual reality experiences that take you anywhere in the world without leaving the ship? Maybe even underwater observatories where you can see the ocean depths up close.
Wow. Okay, that's some next level stuff right there.
Yeah.
It's like NCL's trying to blur the lines between a cruise and well, I don't even know what to call it. It's more than just a vacation.
It's an experience, an immersive, interactive experience.
Exactly.
And that's what I find so exciting about this. They're not just building ships, they're building platforms for innovation, for imagination.
And who knows what new technology will be around by 2030? The possibilities are kind of endless, aren't they?
Absolutely. And that's a smart part of their strategy. They're not just building for today, they're building for the future. These ships will be able to adapt as technology changes, as people's expectations change.
Future-proofing the cruise experience. That's a good way to put it. But surely all of this comes with challenges, right? I mean, how do you even begin to make something like this happen?
Well, think about the logistics. For one, these ships are enormous. You've got thousands of workers, complex supply chain safety regulations.
This is a massive undertaking. Yeah.
And then there's the technology, making all that cutting-edge stuff work together smoothly. Not easy.
You need the right crew too, right? People who can handle all that technology and still provide that great service that NCL is known for.
Absolutely. And then, of course, there's sustainability. We've talked about the potential, but actually achieving it on this scale, well, that's a whole other challenge.
Kind of uncharted territory, isn't it?
It is. It means pushing the limits of what we can do now, maybe even inventing completely new solutions. It's a challenge, but it's also a huge opportunity for NCL. If they can pull this off, they set a new standard for everyone.
So they're facing some big hurdles, but it's also a pretty amazing opportunity. These megaships could change everything, not just for NCL, but for the whole industry. But hey, let's not forget, they have those other 3 ships in the works too, including the Aqua, which is coming much sooner.
Right, the Aqua. It's almost like a sneak peek into the near future of NCL's vision. I think it's time we take a closer look at what we know about this new class and what it might tell us about where they're headed.
All right, so we spent a good chunk of time looking way out into the future with these megaships coming in 2030. But you mentioned the Norwegian Aqua. That's launching way sooner, right? First in the Prima Plus class. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, the Aqua, it's kind of like a bridge between where NCL is now and that big, ambitious future they're aiming for.
How so?
Well, it's coming out way before those megaships, but it's probably going to have a lot of hints about what's to come.
Ah, so it's like a sneak peek, a way for NCL to test out some new ideas before going all in with the megaships.
Exactly, like a floating laboratory where they can fine-tune things, get feedback, really perfect those groundbreaking features before putting them on a much bigger stage.
I like that. Like a chef trying out a new recipe on a small group of friends before serving it to a packed restaurant.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the Aqua. From what we've seen, it's still a pretty big ship, probably bigger than a lot of NCL's current fleet.
But it's not just about size, right? We're talking innovation here.
Right. So what kind of innovations are we talking about? What can we expect to see on the Aqua that might give us a clue about what's coming in 2030?
Well, NCL's been putting a lot of emphasis on sustainability, haven't they?
They have. So we might see some really advanced environmental tech on the Aqua, things like really sophisticated wastewater treatment systems, energy-efficient engines, maybe even a move towards alternative fuels.
Now, that would be impressive. And it fits with that whole eco-conscious travel trend we were talking about. If NCL can make those technologies work on a ship like the Aqua, it's a good sign they could do it on those mega ships too, right?
For sure. It's like a proof of concept. But it's not just the tech, it's the design too.
Yeah.
The Aqua is part of that Prima Plus class, so it'll probably build on what made the Prima class so successful.
Which is?
People loved the Prima's modern look and those innovative features.
Oh, right, like that indulged food hall. And that huge ocean boulevard, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So we might see those things on the Aqua too, maybe with some updates or new twists.
NCL's all about giving people an amazing experience, so they'll probably include those popular features, but also add some new stuff, things that people are looking for now, maybe more outdoor spaces, immersive entertainment, really interesting dining concepts.
Right. So they're using the Aqua as a stepping stone to that future they're building, gathering data, testing new things out. It's really fascinating to see how they're constantly pushing the boundaries.
It's like they're on a mission to make cruising something totally different, something new. More innovative, more sustainable, more engaging for everyone, no matter who they are.
And they're not just doing it for themselves. They're raising the bar for every other cruise line out there. NCL is making the whole industry step up, invest in better technology, and really think about sustainability.
So it's competition, but in a good way, right?
Yeah.
Everyone benefits.
Exactly. The cruise lines, the passengers, and the environment, too.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground today. Everything from those massive megaships to the new Prima Plus class. So as we wrap up, what's the main takeaway for our listeners? What should they be thinking about?
I think the big takeaway is this. NCL isn't just building ships, they're building a vision of what cruising can be. A future where it's bigger, bolder, more sustainable, and way more experiential.
A future where these megaships are like floating cities full of amazing things to see and do. A future where technology makes everything better and more personalized. And where sustainability isn't just an afterthought, it's built into everything.
And we get to be a part of it. The Aqua is just the beginning, the first chapter in this whole new story. It'll be interesting to see how it all unfolds as NCL moves toward that ambitious future they've got planned.
I'm already excited to see what's next. And there you have it, folks. A deep dive into NCL's big plans and what they mean for the future of cruising. Keep an eye out for updates on the Aqua. And hey, start saving those pennies for those 2030 megaships, just in case.